Micah Marie Tute here. I wanted to do a video blog real quick as a kind of a follow-up of what I've learned after writing about gratitude on Examiner.com and on 10 Tips to Happiness. I had started doing some of the things I list in my happiness, including one of the articles I linked from a psychologist about the MindBody Connection. He had an exercise in the second paragraph. I link it about writing on a piece of paper something that keeps eluding you, and then all the words around it. Just start writing whatever comes to mind first. And then the second part of the exercise, you'll have to go back and look and see, because it takes less than 5 minutes to do the whole thing, but it really almost gave me chills when I did it. It was really incredible. And I wrote the list that I talk about in my happiness. I've been living in gratitude and just being thankful for what I have after being virtually homeless, living with friends and moving around, living on unemployment, trying to start a business, make a network, kind of establish who I am with people in a new place after being in a small town, living one way for so long. Completely changed that. And I did it in order to be open to possibilities, but still in the back of my mind was the voice saying, you aren't making money, you don't have financial stability, and that's what will make you comfortable, and that's what will help you get to the next level, and whatever the next level even is. So that held me back a little bit. So what I did, and you'll see if you read the article on 10 Tips to Happiness and the gratitude article, is I started to change my mindset a little bit so I could get unstuck from that way of thinking, because money is currency. It's fluid. It flows just like everything else, and it needs to continue to flow just like everything else. Any relationship you have in life, whether it's with someone you're in love with, a parent, a child, a friend, money, anything, everything is external, and everything in your life has to do with who you are. And it doesn't define who you are, but it does give you insight as to who you are by what you're doing with your relationships, what kind of relationships they are, and if they're healthy or not. And it's unhealthy to constrict your idea of success based solely on money, which you know on some level, but you still tend to do it. I do anyway, especially when you don't have it. So what I did is I made the list, and I wrote down like a vision board sort of thing, except I never really had a chance to do a vision board, because where would I hang it when I'm moving around so much? I put pictures up on my laptop as a screensaver to help keep me motivated, but it wasn't enough. So I made these lists like I read in a success book that I also link in that article on from Deepak Chopra. And I forced myself to do a resume, held myself accountable, and looked at all my capabilities, and realized how much I'm standing in my own way when I saw me on paper from a business perspective. And I've been doing a lot of work on myself. And I promised Andrew when he left about a week ago, I was like, I have to see you. I don't know how it's going to happen, but on the first weekend of June, something has to change. And I thought maybe he'd get paid by then, or one of some freelancing deal or job or something would come through on my end where I could afford to go and see him. And none of these things were happening. And I was so frustrated. But I just looked at my list. I wrote it down on a separate piece of paper. Short-term ones I'll put down like on the back of my long-term one. And I would look at it every day. And I want to travel. I had wanted to go back to San Francisco since 1988 when I lived there, or north of there, and I had visited. And I was like, when I can afford to go traveling again, that's the first place I want to go. And May 31st, I heard from his brother, and Andrew and I both kind of were, I think there on some level we're like, no way can this work out. But it did. I ended up not only being able to travel, I got to see San Francisco. Did I have a lot of money? No. I had $40 cash. We used food stamps and went camping. They paid for gas. And the campground stuff. We all just pitched in together and we all made it happen. All 4 of us took the trip up to see Andrew. And so we were able, so I had the visit that I felt viscerally I was going to see him, but I let go of how that was going to happen, and I just let it happen. And it was one of the most amazing trips of my entire life, and I was able to get to know wonderful people better, and I was able to see the man that I love with all of me. And it was amazing to realize that I had accomplished all the things that I have on my list of things I want to accomplish and how I want to live my life that I look at every morning and every night. It's starting to happen already. Within 3 weeks of making that list, things are already in motion in ways I never could have possibly seen happen. Because when you're so focused on that door that isn't opening, you don't realize that there's all these other doors around you, right next to you. Or there's doors somewhere else, and somebody else or a circumstance comes along and says, hey, there's a door right there, and it's been open all along, and you just didn't see it because all you can look at is the door that isn't opening. So I just wanted to share that experience, because when I write, I take everything very personally that I write. I research everything, and it's always coming from somewhere in my life that I'm having to learn from and having to accept, grow from. And so I encourage you to share any of your thoughts, ideas, things you're working on, struggles, anything, any story that you want to share. I appreciate any feedback. I always include links below my video to the articles I talk about, or ways you can follow me on Twitter, Google+, Facebook, Pinterest. I'm all over the place because I do social media. So thank you for watching, and I look forward to hearing from anyone who wants to talk to me. Bye.